Hey, turn up. All right, so we just got back from
Sinners.
awesome movie. Awesome movie. I
Amazing.
rated 10 out of 10. What you rated?
10 out of 10.
Okay, so we
Definitely
want
10
to
out
talk
of 10.
about it. We're not gonna tell y'all the movie, but we just gonna press record while we recap on the movie.
Facts.
So one of the biggest things that like I told you earlier off camera was that I got from the movie is that no matter what you surround yourself with or what environment you're in or negative, no matter what, it's what you invite in
Absolutely.
that dictates
Mm-hmm.
life and death, really, for real.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. Because you're going to attract literally everything. Light
Right.
attracts everything.
Right.
Be it, gnats, bees, moths, other light, butterfly, the good, the bad, whatever. It's not like it just is, but it's not about what you attract, it's about what you allow, and it's about what you allow in, and it's
Come on,
about what
baby.
you consume, so I think that was like one of the biggest overarching themes
From it.
from absolutely
Also, the power that we have energetically,
yes,
I would say.
energetically. Oh
Because-
man, that was all through the movie,
Man.
from sound
Yeah, that's what
to
got me.
to the exchange of energy through currency, through
Yeah. But you gotta look what they did, bro. They bought empty space. All this was in one day, bro. Like, they got an empty space.
Mm-hmm.
All they did was get a bunch of us.
Yeah.
Piano player, guitar player, singer, alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
We got a party.
And we got a party.
That's it.
and it was crazy because again, my boy Stack he went to the what was it, the bus station. He went to the bus that he didn't hire a blues player.
right. You know
You know what I'm saying? A piano player, a harmonica. He got a whole and again, that's nothing but energy.
Right.
It's nothing but energy. So it was so many energetic exchanges in that movie, and it showed how much and how much power we have just through that one, just through the frequency of sound, of music, of
I really love that, like, because
that's our power line.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
because again, we are energetic beings, period. And we resonate at a much higher frequency on a natural state.
Yeah.
I'm not speaking for nobody else, but I know how we resonate. We are high energetic beings. This is why we jump, fly, all sports, athletic, music, no matter what we do, because once we tap into that internal source and we allow it to flow through us in whatever we're doing, it does more than attract. Like it permeates the realm.
It expands.
Like beyond, like, but I'm saying, like, it permeates the spiritual realm.
Right.
Like that's how the Irish vampires were attracted. Like, they heard his voice despite the walls. You know what I'm saying? You see how the building was torn down. It was like it was on fire. Like it was just outside, because that's what the Irish folks saw. That's what the vampires saw. That, you know what I'm saying? They ain't see a building. They just saw people got together, and that music, that voice, that spirit. Because when you tap in, like, he was a young cat. He don't really know too much about life in itself. You don't have to have educational knowledge to tap into that internal source that's within.
Right.
And he was like, what, 14, 15, just young, and allowed that source to permeate throughout everything. And they're in the middle of slavery. Everybody in there struggling. They ain't had the money to pay the tab.
Right.
But when that voice, that frequency hit them, all that dissipates.
Right.
And they go there just having a great time.
Yeah, and just as you said, it attracted the vampires, which was that was a huge thing we're gonna talk about. We're gonna get into that. We attracted the vampires, because of the frequency, because of the story, because of the layered energy within that. It also, again, brought forth the ancestors. It brought forth the past, the
and
present, and the future.
Now that's some power.
That's one. We was just talking about that off camera. But that was one of my favorite scenes.
When it's blended.
When he started, when the young cat started to.
She's so jealous. She know when she not getting attention.
Yeah.
She just getting extra. She must know the camera on and she ain't giving the full attention.
She know. God. Energy.
But go ahead.
But yeah, y'all have to excuse Lady Bell. But what was I saying? Yeah,
that part
with the young cat when
the
he
music
started,
blends the past and the present.
When he started with the banjo and that voice.
So they had African dances in there, and
had
that voice carried all of that.
Man,
that frequency carried.
Showed the African dancers, showed the
twerking,
the hip hop, the 80s, the 90s, crumping. Showed
all that.
Showed all of that. Showed the 70s, the 60s. I mean,
Bootsy
Collins showed the drums, the African drums. Showed the tribal dances. Yeah. All of that was portrayed through that one scene. Through that one scene. And again, this is another thing that I noticed just now, or just thought about just now. All of those individuals were inside
the building. Right. Because they were. It wasn't that they had to get invited. They were there. They
didn't have to get invited because they were there.
Right.
When it showed everything from the vampire standpoint,
they were outside.
Everything was burned away. Everything was everybody was outside from their standpoint because they were able to see through it. They still had to be invited in.
Right.
They were outside looking in. Facts. And it was the frequency that they heard.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I was like, damn, that was powerful.
Yeah.
The fact that, all of these folks were already the ancestors, past, present, and future
were inside.
Were already inside.
They didn't get attracted to it. They didn't come. No, they were already
there. But look at this.
Right.
You see she on. You see who she on.
She's just so extra.
She's
so extra. Like she's extra.
Shit. Okay, but anyway.
She's like, you gonna love me, damn it.
Right. Okay, who you talking to?
Right.
But you gonna love me. Golly. But anywho,
that was powerful.
That was powerful. I just thought about
the symbolism in the movie alone in itself is it was ingenious. Like took what it took to be able to orchestrate that and deliver that to people. That was beautiful in itself, how he organized that.
Yeah.
Even down to both of them having women, in their lives that like significant others, but one having a white woman and the other having a black woman.
Yeah.
And then
and hold on, cause she wasn't
fully white.
She wasn't fully white.
Right.
Okay. She was what they called back then a octoroon. Yeah, mulatto, but like an octoroon, basically 1/8 black or whatever, because it was
her mother.
It was her father's or her mother's father. Whatever.
Black was in there somewhere along the line.
She had black in there somewhere, but she was mad light skinned.
Right.
But beyond the skin tone, the differences in the two types of women.
Yes, that's what I wanted to. Yeah, that's what I want to bring up.
The differences in the two types of women. You had the and I think it's powerful that Smoke's woman, when you first look at her, I bet a lot of people outside of the interaction that they show later on throughout the movie, the interaction was almost like a motherly interaction. It was that of a nurturer. It was that of a caregiver.
It definitely was care.
You know what I'm saying?
I didn't see matriarch. I didn't cut you off, but I didn't see motherhood. I saw the care and the love, the protection. Mm-hmm. Like how men stand up and protect their woman. Mm-hmm. That's what I saw from her.
And that's what's up. And what I saw from her was like that old. This is what I saw.
Go ahead, grandma.
I saw that old school, wise grandmotherly type.
Go ahead.
And the reason why, because I'm looking at her shape, I'm looking at the buxomness, I'm looking at, you know what I'm saying, the everything that she was the opposite of Stack's woman, slim, light skin,
Go get her.
Yeah. You know, snap whatever. But this Stack's woman wasn't spiritual at all. But this woman, Smoke's woman, highly spiritual, highly in tune.
And to me, like,
highly,
she stood for the black woman.
And that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying when I say she put me in the mind of like my grandmother.
Right, and because that's how women
put
were.
Me in the mind of
that's
that.
That's the black. That was the black woman back then. Like.
Let me get these herbs.
Because look at the time frame era. We can't rely on doctors in that era.
Right.
Even now, we couldn't rely on anything outside of ourselves for when it comes to protection and so herbs or healing. We couldn't rely on nobody. So, and of course, she's not gonna be slim and slender and because again, look at the era and the time frame and what she's representing.
Exactly.
You know.
And exactly, that's my point. The fact that he was able to capture that and see, you know what I'm saying, and show those differences
that
was very
subtle,
genuine. It's subtle because it probably went over a lot of people's head.
Right.
But I saw that, I was like, I like how he did like it's a juxtapose of that matriarch that we, you know what I'm saying, like again, that matriarch figure.
Now you see how,
and this one over here.
How right, I agree with that. But I was tying into how you see in the movie how Stack's woman is really the one that popped everything off. But the reason she did it was to help Stack. Now, Smoke Woman, real quick, let me get the point out.
Okay.
Smoke Woman, what she did was she was the first to realize everything was going on, and so to the point she protected everybody, including him.
Exactly. So
you got one leg to your danger.
So check it. So to piggyback on your point, it's like both of them went with the intent of helping their respective men. It's just that one of them had spiritual discernment.
Come on now.
And the other one
did not. So the one that did not led to the downfall of not just her man, but everybody
in there. Come
now,
on,
when you understand that, when you touch on, that's why I'm like, I love what the brother did. I love that because I understand. Like, I don't think everybody was gonna look too deep into it and see that part of it. Like, to see that, you know, not just that his woman got him in trouble, but she did it in order to help because she was like, I know y'all need this money.
Exactly.
You know, and
y'all getting copper nickels and
because they did the paper, the numbers and everything.
Yeah,
but in 2 months, if they do this for 2 months straight, they gonna have no more money.
Yep.
You know, so she like, I know y'all need this money. Let me go and get this money from these folks. You know, let me go make it happen. All right, here go my piece. You know what I'm saying? Go make it happen. You know, here go some form of protection. Go make it happen. Now on the other end, she feel all the attention not on her. Yeah. She want me.
Right.
You know? On the other end, you got Smoke Woman, who, you know, like I say, spiritual discernment was shown at the door.
At the door.
At that moment when Cornbread.
Yep.
When the white folks showed up, when Irish folks, when Irish vampire,
showed up, she was like,
son, give me the willies with them. She said.
That's what she said.
She didn't get that. But when Cornbread showed up,
and he,
because they was gonna invite Cornbread on in, they didn't even think twice about it. Ain't nobody thinking about it. But she was like, So she the one who with the spiritual discernment was spiritual discernment. Spiritual discernment is being able to stop and thinking to, you know. It's the saying I say, if you stop to think, you would think to stop. And so that's pretty much having spiritual discernment. You know what I'm saying? Stopping to think and becoming aware of what's going on, how going on. Yeah.
Simply put,
Awareness.
It's awareness.
And so
it's
she was aware.
And awareness of everything around you.
You've been coming in out here all day.
All day. Why you asking for an invitation now?
And it was her knowledge of the dead and the vampires and stuff that
exactly her being in tune with
aided in the benefit and the protection and survival of everybody that was there.
Yep.
Now the Chinese motherfucker.
Ooh, this
motherfucker.
This motherfucker. Damn, I'm like,
I can't stand that.
Johnny, you could have went out there by your damn self and
so many things, but again, we got to look at it from a symbolism aspect. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why was it the Chinese woman? You know what I'm saying?
True.
And the thing about it is, like, so many things she could have did. The Chinese woman, another race, nothing against no other races. You know what I'm saying? This is just
talking about the movie,
right? The Chinese woman was the one who invited all hell.
Of them in. All hell broke loose. Come on now.
Why?
Come on now.
Why China?
Right. Yeah.
The black woman had discernment. The white mixed with black woman, she already turned, but she had good intentions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So she sparked everything off, basically.
Right.
Like the woman, Adam and Eve, the Eve woman.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? She would be more of the Eve because the whole bite of the fruit type stuff.
Right.
She literally bit him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So then you got the Chinese woman. This is just a representation of the women in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then you got the Chinese woman who, the reason she did it, the reason she broke, not because they got her husband, it was because of child. Mm-hmm. So the love of her children, of her child, a lot, what pretty much drove her to breaking.
Right.
And just saying, y'all, come on in,
come on in, motherfuckers. Yeah.
And that's all they needed was an invite.
That's it. And it
so
was
so the one Chinese woman brought upon the death and destruction of everybody else. The black woman protected everybody at the expense of her own death.
Yep. To her own detriment.
To her own detriment. And that's what black women do to this day. Black women are always helping, supporting, building, holding you down, lifting you up, how all this to their own.
Hello, America.
You know what I'm saying? To their own detriment. What else? The one that attracted everything is the one that got away, that wanted to survive.
Yep.
Sammy.
Yes. And the only reason and y'all gotta watch to the end. I know, spoiler alert, all through
today.
But listen, Sammy, the only reason that Sammy got away is because, remember, when Stack and Smoke were getting to it around the floor or whatever, I don't know if you caught it, but at the end, Stack was like, he told me to let you live.
Mm-hmm.
He told me not to fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Go on and let you live. And he's the only one out of everybody in that juke joint that survived.
But he's the only one that they came for.
Yep. But he's the only one that they came for.
Right. Yeah.
Yep. His voice.
And they still, at the end, they still let him survive. They let him live.
They let him live.
At his own choice, though. But.
Yeah, they let him live.
Okay, so overall, I give it a 10 out of 10. The message, I don't think a lot of people will see the symbolism in it. A great black movie, a great movie, period.
Great movie.
Great director, great actors, great storyline, great build-up, great characters. I rock with it. Like, great humor. You know, even with his when he would recruit cornbread out of the field.
Yeah.
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
I got enough money that'll make you let your wife do it.
Right.
She's like,
do one or two things.
She might let you put it in the mouth.
Right.
He's like, hold on now, I'm gonna beat your. She's like, wait a minute now. Hold on.
How much you saying?
Right. What the numbers talking about? Because I just might.
If the number's right. So it was good.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very, very good. And like I said, the whole the fact that I had to go back and research this, that Ryan Coogler chose Irish Americans as the vampires, as the antagonists or whatever. You know what I mean? Throughout the movie, it was, and the reason he chose that chose Irish Americans is because of the historical reference, the Irish folklore, that both Black Americans and Irish Americans have a strong musical frequency, historical, like, you know, that
rhythm
right. Basically, you know what I mean? And the fact that, and it shows it all throughout the movie, that again, historically, the Irish were you say niggas of the white, you know, community, white community.
Right.
You know what I mean? And they were both in some way in similarly, but not the same, looking for their own type of freedom. Right. And the head vampire, I forgot his name. Damn, Lady Bell. The head vampire. That's one of the things that he said when he was, you know, talking to the group, was like, you'll never be free. Right, you'll never be free.
Yes, let's talk about that. Yes. That was deep because of the fact that we talked about it off camera, but the fact that for Black individuals during that time, and I feel is related to now, is that one line he said, you'll never be free in this realm, because the only freedom that you will ever experience will be experienced through death. And that, because again, why I say that, because even now, we could dive into it, but in the movie, they purchased the property from the head.
What is it? The Grand Wizard.
Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux
Klan.
The
KKK.
So,
and they didn't know that at the time, because they asked, but he was, KKK doesn't even exist around here, boy. We know that's a lie. It's 1932.
Right. Not knowing he's the leader of them. And
he's
so,
the leader, right.
And they had planned, oh man. Okay, so they already had planned to come back in that morning and kill everybody. So they were already going to die. They found this out from the Irish, the vampires who had already turned the grandson of the Klansman. They already had turned him into a vampire. So once they converted him into a vampire, they already had his memories and knowledge of everything he knows. So they told Michael B. Jordan to smoke the truth. Like, y'all was gonna get killed anyway.
You got your boy right here.
You gonna die anyway. So there's just the symbolism and understanding that there is no freedom for you.
Right.
You know
how much money you got.
You can buy property, whatever. You're Black in America. There is no freedom for you. The only freedom that exists for you is in death. Yeah. So you might as well come be a vampire and live forever.
Live forever. Yeah.
And be free. The only freedom you're gonna experience is in death.
Yeah. So
you won't have experience. You won't experience freedom in life, and that was huge.
That was.
Another thing I want to touch on before the battery run there was that the initiative, the really Lady Bell, like she like touch on me. So the Native Americans were the first ones to protect, fight against, and eradicate the vampires,
as they were the first individuals here in these Americas.
Period.
They were the natives.
And I would say the smartest ones, because of the fact that
and you talking about spiritual discernment.
Baby, they didn't argue with them. They didn't argue with it at all. They came say, hey, we're looking for someone. He's not what he has seen. You do not want to invite him in. And then they like, nah. Then one of the parties like, hey, it's getting dark. They know. They know what's going on.
Right.
The person who let the vampire in don't know what they trying to help. So they like, they're Americans not finna fight and argue with you. May peace be with you.
That's it. That's it. And they did. Got on them horses and
they rolled out. So
rolled out.
So with that being said, what you give it? Give it a 10 out of 10?
Definitely, I give it a 10 out of 10 for cinematography, the direction, the storyline, the plot, the characters.
Yeah.
You really could see you know what I'm saying? Like, you really felt the whole build up and everything. I mean, all of that was very, very, and the costumes,
Yes.
you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, all of that, it was
Lady Bell, what you give? You give it 10 out of 10. You give it paws up, Lady Bell. You give paws
give
up.
a pause
All right,
up,
Lady Bell,
okay?
give it paws up. 10 paws up. I give it 10 out of 10. So we're 25 minutes in. Did not expect to go that long, but hey, you go long when you hit it strong. Okay, don't say. But yes, y'all have a great morning, evening, afternoon, night. Go see this movie. Please go spend your money and go to the movie. Don't wait till it come on the stream it. Don't wait till it come on YouTube and buy none of that. Go spend your money and see this movie. I promise you, you will not be let down.
Yeah.
And if you do are let down, let me know in the comments and tell me what y'all think about it. Spoiler alert! What she said.